So now we're here. Let's get on to this. Let's get into my... I'm going to be ranty, Tory, by the way. I'm going to be a bit ranty.
I hope so.
Right, where's my newspaper? I need to pick this up, right? As the week's gone on, I've got more and more irate about it. But at the beginning, it was Saturday. Let's go back a bit. Doobly-doo, doobly-doo, doobly-doo. That's sound. Time going backwards. Thank you. Saturday. It was my turn to go and pick up the cheeky Chinese, right? It was, you know, can we pick up, please? Pre-order on the telephone type malarkey, right? So I'm there, and it always is the way. It seems to be always the way. You walk up, you go to the till. It's like, hi, yeah, you told me to pick up at half past 6, I think it was. Pick up at 6:30. Name, Lee, hello. And they go, oh, right, okay, right. That'll be £20,000, please, or whatever it was. I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention. There was something weird on the telly, which is always in the Chinese in the UK. There's always a TV on something that's the worst thing, the worst channel that's currently broadcasting. I don't know why it is. I think it was ITV Splash at the time. So there was practically naked people getting moist, jumping into water for no good reason. I think that was going on. So I'm there like going, oh, that's not exactly nice, and pay my money. And they always say the same bloody thing. It's going to be 5 minutes. You want to take a seat? I'm like, oh, right, cheers. That's nice. So take a seat, pick up the local newspaper, which is the freebie one. It's the Haverhill Weekly News. It's the chav version, right? And
oh, yeah.
And normally in these Chineses here in the UK, it's always the free newspaper, occasionally a paid newspaper that's been left, right? But they're always at least 20 years old, right? They're always the ancient ones. I was shocked and amazed. It was the local weekly one. That was this week's one, or last week's. On Thursday it came out, right? So, double whammy of, wow, this is shocking. This is very much shocking. Page 2. Okay, page 2. Town Council supports Gurteen redevelopment plan. Right, many things I need to explain with this headline. Ben, can you spot them?
Town Council Gurteen? What's this?
Okay, that is exactly what I needed you to ask. Right, so Town Council supports a Gurteen. Now, Gurteen is there's technically 3 big companies here in Haverhill town, right? One of them is Gurteen. Okay, Gurteen's been here since 18. Thank you for you're welcome for me to be so historically factual on that information. And they do highbrow merchandise. They do woolly jumpers and stuff like that, right? The town is pretty much, they've been here so long that the town where they are in the centre of town, the town has been built up around them. They own, right, Tory.
Yes.
Hello, mate. You know, even though sometimes you may not agree with it or not, the most expensive land is always in the centre of the town or the city that you're in, right?
Usually that's how it works.
So they're sitting
location.
Thank you. So they're sitting on multi-million pounds worth of land, right? They are literally Haverhill, right? Because Haverhill was physically and mentally built around Gurteen, right? They are the big boys. It is a family organisation. In fact, you know what? I'm going to Google Gurteen. So it's Gurteen, right? Gurteen. Now, I'm going to read paragraph 1.
See, I kept thinking you were talking about a guillotine.
No,
or a guillotine.
No, I'm not.
No,
I'm not
French.
That's French.
Yeah.
So if you go to gurteen.co.uk, you'll be able to see their official website. Very lovely indeed. High quality pieces of merchandise. I'll let you know.
Gurteen.com not available?
I don't know. I don't. It may be porn. I don't know. So we've got Gurteen here. This is what Gurteen established in 1785. I was so out, Tory. I was out of I was completely gone on the. But look at me. I'm kneeling and I'm wearing a tweed jacket. Oh, rather good show. What pinky. Oh, look at me. I'm just come off from the shoot. This is the sort of stuff they produce. Right. So now we've got that established. Permission is being sought to demolish some of Haverhill's most historic buildings. Now, you can count how many historic buildings we have in Haverhill town on one hand.
How many buildings are there in Haverhill town? Because
millions.
All time is part of history, so therefore all buildings are historic buildings.
Fair, I understand exactly where you're coming from, but There is a majority of the high street has been knocked down and bashed around, or the main street for America has been bashed around. If you look upwards, because they've all got the modern shop fronts, if you get me. If you look upwards, there's like these old Victorian buildings and Georgian buildings everywhere, but a majority has been knocked down, demolished, and rebuilt in the 60s. So there is literally very few pockets of history, bunny floppy ears, littered around in building form in Haverhill town. Obviously, I'm here in the UK.
A lot of hippie designs.
That is true.
Beatles inspired.
Yeah. So and obviously lots of grey, used and stuff, and breeze blocks and things. Obviously, I'm here from the UK, so obviously I walk anywhere and I trip over pieces of medieval pot, or I trip over, pieces of Roman, mosaic left, right, and centre. That's what UK is. We've just got history laying about. But buildings, they're few and far between. Historic buildings, proper buildings, oldie-farty buildings, right? Few and far between. So, just to clarify. So, Tweety lovers. Oh, hello. I'm going to have a little sherry. Lovely, pinky, what, lovely. Them own a crap ton of area, crap ton of old buildings. They were the first to pretty much build all these old buildings, right? They put a lot of money into the town. They had a lot of employees of the town. They are the town, right? Pretty much. Them and IFF are pretty much owners of the town. This is how it always works. Yeah.
Wait, what is this IFF? If and only if?
International Foods and Fragrances. So basically Coca-Cola, Lay's, Walkers, all those Lynx, Axe, all those people who want fragrances or flavors or anything like that, they go to them and they muck around with things and test tubes and make up the flavors and foods that you have.
It's an olfactory factory.
It looks more like an oil thing. What's it called? Oil.
Eric, not to be confused with the plug-in.
No, it looks like a oil refinery firm. Lots of tubes, and they're over many acres, and basically every like couple of weeks or couple of days, depending on their cycle, they always dump out whatever they've been mixing into the atmosphere. So Haverhill, if it doesn't look grey and gloomy, because of the 1960s architecture everywhere, it also smells of E-numbers that are filtering it. So you walk in one area and it smells of raspberries, and then you walk down the road and to the left
That's
a bit.
near the Raspberry Pi factory?
No, close, but not quite. You walk down the road and to the right a bit, and suddenly you're smelling M&Ms for no good reason, and then you go further down the road, and all of a sudden you suddenly want a Dr. Pepper for no good reason, and it's all because it's pumping around in the air. It's lovely. I'm sure cancer is far from us.
Good times.
Good times. Very much. So now we've clarified, Gurteen owns a lot. So Gurteen, the I knew I was going to have trouble with the name. Right, the Chauntry Mill.
Is this English?
No, it's a name of a road. It's an old stupid name. The Chauntry Mill site, owned by Gurteen Sons, is made up of Grade 2 listed buildings, so work can only go ahead if English Heritage give approval. So English Heritage...
Oh, wait. Who's English Heritage?
English Heritage are some... Oh, there's another bloody... are basically the councils of Elron for historic buildings, okay? So they are in charge of overseeing what happens to castles, what happens to moats, what happens to historic pieces of land, architecture, the works. Everything
so they're in charge of all history then?
They are pretty much... Nothing can be done without their approval on history. They are literally the gatekeepers of history here in the United Kingdom. If it isn't art or pots or something that can, that isn't nailed down, they are in charge of it, is basically what I can gather.
Okay.
So, just to clarify.
Yeah.
So,
I was going to say, you can't hardly throw a cat without hitting an unmarked grave there. I mean,
well, that is
been
true.
around for a while.
Well, that is true.
Is
But
that considered disrespectful?
well, it depends.
To the cat or the grave?
Well, that's what I was going to question. Just if it was a Tommy, cross. Anyway, let's ignore the cat and the grave and move on with other. So, Grade 2 listed buildings. Basically, We've got normal buildings that you can do bloody what you want with. I'm currently sitting one, right? Basically, anything under the age of 100 years is roughly how it goes. Anything higher than that is grade 2 listed. So you need to ask permission for things to happen. If you're going to knock a wall down, then you have to at least make it look as if it's been originally done like that. You know, you have to be caring and keeping with the architecture of what you're doing. So
we kind of have that here. We have a historic area, which is about 6 blocks downtown. It's been around for almost 100 years or so, maybe even
surely
more
not
than 100 years.
Surely not.
Old.
No. Stuff in America is nothing older than 50 years, surely, because you knock it down every 5 bloody minutes.
You can't even put new modern windows in these places.
You see, if you want to put like double glazing in, then you go and ask for permission, and you normally 9 times out of 10, depending on what style, then they go through a bartering thing. They go, well, what style of windows are you going? Well, I'm going to get the really thick plastic white ones because they're cheap. No, you can't do that. You're an historic grade 2 listed building. You have to, at least make it look like it's in keeping with the bill, and the bartering continues. Okay, so you get the idea. So, grade 1 is literally if you cough near that building, you've broken the law. You cannot touch. Do not even look. You need to keep your glare away from the building. You must not. You must not.
Right.
Don't make eye contact with the grade 1 listed building. Don't even. You're
neighbor
not
of my
worthy.
parents actually has a historic building on his property.
Okay.
And he just he does exactly that. Does not look at it. Doesn't touch it. He's waiting for it to fall down.
Exactly. That's what.
So he can build over it.
That's unfortunately what happens. There's like several buildings that I can think of off the top of my head round here that are in that state of repair. They are grade 1 or grade 2 listed, and pretty much the landowners have gone, screw it, can't be bothered. I'll just wait for it to, fall down. So basically, even though English heritage does do a good thing in some respects, and that's why we're all, that's why we have such oldie worldy kind of shenanigans going on here, and that's what people enjoy and the tourism and stuff like that. So you've got like the gatekeepers, fair enough, but at the same time, it does mean that some bar stewards around just basically go, screw you then. We'll just wait for it to, fall itself down on its own accord because I won't pay for the upkeep. So it's like, it's...
And they can't be forced to.
Unfortunately not. There is one in particular building that I'm thinking of, and I don't want to go down that rabbit hole of discovery, but basically there is one that I'm thinking to myself, that is such a beautiful old thing that it really should be forced that you keep it, because it, once that's gone, it's like, well, that's unfortunate. What else are you going to put on that land? There is such a stupid plot that such a busy road goes past it. There's nothing else you could put there, so you might as well keep that. Make it like some sort of conference center or something. Anything, just to make it so that it's upkeep and all that tomfoolery. Anyway,
you would think if they really were concerned with preserving history, then they would make it affordable to use the styles in those time periods with a modern, stuff.
Well, they are willing to do like modern with old, and in fact, some English heritage stuff where they've got like these really ultra modern glass blocks sticking out the side of it, because they've actually said they've decided, you know what, the buildings, we should make sure there is a cut between, so we know that that's old, this is new. Instead of, they've changed their minds and stuff. Well, anyway, so let's get on, because we're talking far too much about the politics behind it, and I want to get on about people giving off fellatio for no good reason.
You had a rant about something.
I have. I'm trying to get to the rant. I'm looking at the clock, and I said clock, and I'm like, wow. So part of the site will be knocked down. Right, grade 2 listed buildings, they're going to knock them down. Right, we're talking about Gurteen here, right? Who obviously got more money than sense. If permission is given, and work will take place to repair some of the features on the existing buildings which are left. Okay, I'm adding that bit in to the journalism, right? Internal building work will also be carried out, and new office suites will be formed. Oh, isn't that lovely? Oh, isn't it? Oh, lovely. Oh, Tudor. Lovely. So, for me, is this It's freaking annoying me. This is like, we've got enough flipping clout and money that we will knock down these buildings, and no normal person who actually admires the buildings, and like I've said, they've been there since 1800, and they've been there, you know, screw that. You know, we've got more money than anyone can fathom, and quite frankly, it doesn't matter what the little people think. That's basically what it's saying. This is what really annoys me. The application has been submitted by the Gurteen family. They are the warriors of the knocking down of the Victorian period stuff. And the Haverhill Town Council has offered support to the plans. So normally, what you do is you go, I would like to change the windows of my grade 2 listed building. And the Haverhill Town Council goes, no, but you have to go to English Heritage anyway. But you're taking away the cultural landscape of our town. Suddenly, Gurteen, with their multi-million-pound income, suddenly comes along and goes, right, we want to completely demolish an area of the town because we feel like it. Oh, and we'll build some, office suites and may employ another 10 people. And all of a sudden, the Haverhill Town Council suddenly goes, oh, can I go on my knees and give you fellatio for no apparent reason? Oh, we love you so much, Gurteen. Oh, you're such a... Oh, you want to take me up the bottom as well? Oh, of course. Of course you can, Gurteen. It's like, who the fudging hell? What's going on? It's bloody ridiculous. Will Austin...
Yeah, I don't know what's going on either.
Exactly. Will Austin...
Your description didn't work very well.
Well... Go and get a dictionary and find out what fellatio means.
I get that, but
Do
I
you?
don't see how it relates to real life events.
Well, basically, Haverhill Town Council would have kicked up a big old stink if I wanted to knock down a grade 2 listed building. As soon as Gurteen, with crap tons of money, comes along and employs like a couple hundred people of the town, suddenly their crap don't stink. And of course you can knock down the buildings, and of course we'll even give you support for it.
On air, online, on demand, on the move. BirdieBoxers.net.